Good morning. Welcome to the second webinar from Fabulous on Film. I'm Amy C. Meyer, and I am here today to share with you the 7 steps for planning your videos. And while I was going over my notes last night and putting together everything I wanted to share with everybody, I realized that there are far more than 7 tips, so I hope you forgive me. I'm going to give us a couple of minutes while people log in. I know that we've got quite a few people that are coming online today. And maybe if you can, while we're waiting, somebody let me know if you can hear me, how the sound is today. I got my little bars going across the screen, but it's not saying that I am super loud at this time, so I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Maybe set it up a little closer too. Maybe while we're waiting too, if people can say in the chat box where you're from, that would be wonderful. I'd love to hear where everybody's from and what you do. And I'm going to get started in just a minute here. Put something under my microphone to make it a little bit closer to me. You can stand being really close to me for a second. Yay, I can be heard. I am off. That's awesome. Then I don't have to make too many adjustments. Online, I will be sharing with you some behind the scenes photos of how I set up my sets for my webinars and my videos. And I'm using 2 butcher block cutting boards to be able to bring my microphone up. And let's see, I've also got a banker's box holding my laptop up higher so you can see me. Oh, we've got somebody from Denmark. That's awesome. Welcome. That's very exciting. And Suzanne from Oakland. Welcome, Suzanne. Glad to have you here. And I hope you forgive me. I'm having a case of allergies this morning, so I'm clearing my throat. And one of the things I always recommend that you have with you is a cough drop. And of course, I didn't bring my cough drop. I'm really excited here today to be able to share with you some steps for planning your videos. A lot of times people are so wrapped up in just getting the videos going and getting on camera and getting comfortable on camera that they don't really think that there's much to do for planning. And planning is really important if you want to be able to get on camera, get the video done, and have it look professional as well. Because when you're not planned, it can be very pieced together. You may not have your background set up. I set up this background. It took me about a half an hour here at home. And one of the things you'll learn from me if you don't already know me and haven't worked with me is that I don't like white walls. I feel that they're very plain. My mother's an interior designer, and she always taught me that you needed some color. You needed something to add some depth to your video or to your room, essentially. I did consult with her recently on backgrounds for videos, and that was a lot of fun. I had her come to a location where I do a lot of my own videos and videos for clients, and asked her questions on what she recommended for setting up videos. And it had a very similar effect. You wanted to have something that actually adds some depth, warmth to your videos, and something that actually helps you stand out. So we'll go over more on backgrounds later, but I did put together this background in 30 minutes. It's in my dining room of my house, so I can't have it set up all the time. It's not really an official studio set, but it shows you what you can do when you're trying to put something together quickly and on a budget. So I'm going to keep going here. People are still logging in, which is great. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me. I know a couple of you that I see on the chat are familiar with me. Again, I'm Amy Meyer, and I grew up, I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and my father was in the Navy, so we moved every 3 to 4 years. And I consider that my early networking, my first networking experiences as a kid. Uh, I had to learn to get to know people very quickly and at a young age. And I learned that entertaining them was the most effective way. So I was always doing things that were silly, fun, wasn't afraid to make fun of myself. And I always wanted to be in the film industry. I had a passion for film and really wanted to be a part of that. Um, and I was always in the school plays and choir. My parents, when they told me at age 13 that I was going to be moving to California, I was so excited. This was my opportunity to be a part of the film industry. I knew that this was going to be the way I would be discovered or be a part of making movies. And of course, when I got to our school in Oakland, California, which uh, those of you from Denmark won't really know, but Oakland, California is a lot further away from Los Angeles than one might think. So Los Angeles, of course, is where Hollywood is and all the movie stars are. And my schoolmates used to make fun of me and say, you know, basically, silly girl, you're not going to meet any celebrities in the grocery store here in Oakland. Well, that year I actually met my first celebrity at not a grocery store in Oakland, but at the California State Rodeo. And of course, as graceful as I always am, I tripped and fell in front of Larry Wilcox from the TV show Chefs, which was very popular at the time. And he felt sorry for me and had me come along with him to his shoot for a commercial. And I didn't care what it was. I was really excited. I had a lot of other experiences growing up after that where I would just simply stumble upon celebrities. Not literally, I didn't fall in front of all of them, but it gave me a chance to get comfortable being around people and also ask questions, learn more about the industry. And when I was 17, Huey Lewis from Huey Lewis and the News pleaded with me not to become an actress. He didn't want me to be shallow. He wanted to keep me the way I was. Well, little did he know that wasn't going to happen anyway as far as changing me. I've always been kind of a goof. I always watch things very carefully and then throw out my one-liners here and there. So as you get to know me, you'll know my sense of humor, and hopefully you'll appreciate it. In college, I studied fashion design and film, and my parents convinced me that I really needed to go for a business degree and be more practical. And I did that. I got an international business degree, and I also got very bored at my day job when I started climbing the corporate ladder. I started reading long books and started telling myself that I needed to try to do what I was passionate about. So I started going into acting on the sides of my day job. I would work at my corporate day job by day, and then in the evenings and weekends, I would take acting lessons, method acting lessons, and voiceover lessons. And then I started incorporating my vacation time into the times that I would go down to Los Angeles and audition. So I learned quite a bit while maintaining my corporate job, and I built a successful career and had a lot of fun in the film industry. I was in the movie Rent, so I worked with the cast of Rent. That was a 14-hour shoot. A lot of work involved in that. That's how I know how to help you plan your videos and know what to expect when you're doing your videos. Also, I was in the movie The Bee Season with Richard Gere and the pilot of Persevio Med with Dana Delaney. I've done a Mountain Dew commercial. That was a lot of fun. One of these days I'll give you the details on that, but that was a lot of fun. And I've also been a regular on a Japanese television series called World's Most Astonishing News. So usually I get cast as a soccer mom, and I was really excited the one time that I was asked to play the dead cop. There's a lot of work being done, you know. It's not what you expect. Anyway, enough about me, because really what you're here is to learn about planning your videos. And if you missed last week's presentation, last week was the insider tips for creating professional looking videos. I do have the link to the replay for a limited time on my website, and you can go check that out after this webinar. You want to finish this one. They don't have to be in any particular order, but it's at amycmaier.com. That's A-M-Y, C as in cat, MAIER.com. I had to think about that for a second. I'm not a morning person, so for me to do these morning presentations is pretty funny. I got up this morning and ran around getting ready. I don't wake up looking like this, so this takes some work. But it's a lot of fun getting ready for these webinars, and I really enjoy sharing information with everybody. So let's get started and drink a little bit of water, which I do recommend that you have with you at all times. So when you're planning your videos, always have water with you. I want to start with identifying your audience. So that's the first thing that you want to do when you're planning your videos. You really want to figure out who is it that you are reaching out to, because it makes a big difference on your tone, your backgrounds, your clothing, because you may be attracting the wrong clients, people that you don't want to work with, and vice versa. You may be repelling the clients that you do want to work with. Now, we're not going to go too in depth on client attraction through video in this particular training. I'll do that in another training. And if you haven't heard the word, this was originally going to be a series of 4 free training sessions, and I kept making lists and realizing I have so much that I'd love to share with you guys that I'm actually going to do 12 weeks of free training. And hopefully I'll be as lively and peppy at the end of 12 weeks. But I'm really excited with the amount of information that I have to be able to share with you. And we will go into more detail on your audience, your ideal audience, and what it is that attracts them to certain looks, feels, things that you put into your videos that will actually really attract the right people that you want. And throwing up a white wall, that's generic. That'll probably get some attention for a while, but you'll also blend in with the crowd. You'll blend in with the other experts that only do white walls. You'll also just kind of be probably not noticed. So my goal is to help you get noticed through your videos, really make a mark in what you do. So identifying your audience and finding out what they like, what appeals to them. That's your #1 part of planning your videos. And #2 is finding your topics. This one's a big one, and a lot of my clients really like this tip. It's what I call the 10-10-10 technique, and it's using 3 lists of 10, and it helps you plan out your topics. So when you're overwhelmed thinking, oh wow, I need all these topics, and what do I do? How do I figure this out? And you start making lists of the topics that you want to do for your videos, it's easier if you break it down and you have a list of 10 topics that are frequently asked questions that you know people want to know from you, that they ask you about, or you've heard them ask others about, that are other people that also specialize in what you do. Now the goal is to really have you stand out, to be unique, so you're not doing what everybody else does. So you really want to pay attention to those frequently asked questions and find out what it is that they are wanting that you can really key into and expand on to give them more information. So you got the 10 frequently asked questions. Then you've got, make a list of 10 questions of things that they need to know, but they don't know they need to know. So really, it's something that you really want to share with them, but they have no idea that that's what they need to know. Make sense? So right there and then, you've got 20 topics. not bad, because my recommendation is that you only do one video a week. So you've got 20 weeks worth of videos. So you're approaching half of the year's worth of videos right there. That's awesome. So then you've got your third list, and that's the one that you keep a running tally of things that you learn as you go. And you may already have a couple of things extra, but really start with those first 20, the frequently asked questions, and then the 10 questions that they need to know, but they don't know that they need to know yet. And then keep the running list of things that come up as you go, things that you learn from forums that you're in, maybe networking groups. Somebody asks you a question, jot that down. Jot down the questions and keep your running list. And then you'll build on that. And I did that recently, and I ended up with 42 topics right off the bat. It was really speedy putting together my list. I'm actually now getting ready to record all of those 42 videos, but it occurred to me that you really only need to do one a week, and we'll go through this later in today's webinar of timing and how to plan doing all those videos. Other ways of finding topics is doing a survey. SurveyMonkey, there's also a way of doing a survey on Google Documents, which I personally haven't tried yet, but I've had people send them to me. So I know that it is something that you can do. You might want to research that. But SurveyMonkey is really easy, and I've gotten great responses from SurveyMonkey. Sorry, I had an itch. SurveyMonkey, I don't recommend doing more than 5 questions, because you don't want people that don't know you are going to get annoyed if you send them this really long survey. They just, their attention span just isn't there yet, especially if they don't know you. If they know you, they may be more enthusiastic and say, oh, sure, let me answer as many questions as I can. But as they're getting to know you, really, the rule of thumb should be 5 questions maximum in your survey. And SurveyMonkey has free surveys that you can create, so that's a great resource for you. You also can search popular topics, check popular topics that are searched in Google or any toolbar. When you start typing something and they start listing suggestions, those are suggestions based on frequently asked questions on those toolbars. And you can do the same on YouTube. So for instance, I go in and I type in video and I see what else pops up. So this is great for you. It gives you an opportunity to find other topics that you may not have considered based on what other people are searching for. So those are some of the ways that I recommend searching for topics, pulling together your list of topics. You want to have as many as you can going forward. Don't worry so much about having a ton of topics for videos. I don't recommend doing 30-day video challenges, only because it freaks people out. They get stressed. The quality of their videos is mediocre at best. And you're trying to quickly pull together something where you're anxious, and you don't think of all the things that I'm going through on this webinar to help you plan the videos. You usually don't have that kind of information when you're putting together those types of 30-day video challenges. And then you're stuck with trying to come up with topics all the time. So you start talking about how you did your hair, or something really off topic that leaves people thinking, what? So I really recommend focusing on one topic a week and really nailing that topic, and really getting your potential audience, your ideal clients, a chance to learn and absorb those topics each week. And I'll talk to you about how to really take that topic, that one topic, across a week and really expand it across all social media platforms. So how are we doing today? Everybody doing all right there in the chat box? Any questions that anybody has, please feel free to ask me. I love answering questions when I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'll let you know, and I'll look it up and I'll get the answer for you. Moving on to tip number 3. Maybe I need to go faster because I've got so many tips. I can't go over, especially if there are questions from anybody. So if you have the time. We've got number 3 as I mentioned earlier, doing one video a week. I also recommend recording more than one video at a time. I think the best practice is really to pull together your topics for an entire month, or at least 4 to 6 weeks. So you've got 4 to 6 topics to record, and doing them all on the same day. It makes it a lot easier for you actually recording than trying to do them on the fly every day. Unless you only have your business and you're not working another job and you're able to, you have time on your calendar where you're able to do things on the fly, and that's just your style, fine. But I think it's a lot easier if you try to record more than one at a time. I just worked with a client last weekend where we were overly ambitious. We thought we were going to do all of her videos in one day. And really, it's time consuming setting up the shots for just one video. And what I recommended and what we were able to accomplish is doing a series of 15-second Instagram videos and then 1-minute tip videos. So I think what we actually got done were 3 Instagram videos and a 1-minute tip. So we're going to get together and do more. But that's my recommendation for planning out your videos and recording, is to do more than one at a time. If you've got all day, try to do at least 4 of your videos so that you have your whole month's worth of tips, 1-minute tips, done all at once. Now, let's see. I did mention that. Okay, I'm looking over my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything, because I don't want to smack myself upside the head with my notes later and say, okay, I forgot. But I did mention it can be overwhelming when you start thinking, sure, 1 video a week is still, what, 52 videos a year? And so I had another client say that to me recently. She said, that's still 52 videos. And I laughed and said, okay, take it easy. It's okay. You can just do 4 a month, which is a little bit easier to get through your head and not overwhelm you. And if you do just the 4, then you can pull together, you can plan out 1 day each month that is your video day and go record those videos. And that, she felt, was a lot more manageable. Let's see, okay. I think that's what I've got on recording. So let's move to location. I'm sure other things will pop in my head because, as you can tell, I randomly throw out things to you. So you always want to be writing stuff down. I love sharing as much as possible. I had someone over yesterday helping me get my stuff organized here just at home, and was always throwing out video tips to her. So I noticed that that's one thing that I just am really passionate about doing. So we've got at least 10 tips total. I'll have to tell you that. So we're up to 4. And 4 is location. You want to plan your location, figure out where you're going to record. Last week I recorded in my living room. And what I'm trying to do is show people how you can set up different areas to do videos, Google Hangouts, do things on the fly. And you want to really plan in advance where you're going to shoot. Think about where you're going to shoot too, because sometimes you've got the perfect outdoor spot that you want to do, and then you find out that there's traffic everywhere, there's people walking around, it's noisy, that you didn't anticipate because you were just thinking, oh, I'm going to go put on my microphone and go shoot a video. And really, I did one in my front yard recently, and I have a really cool front yard where it looks like a park. We wanted it to look like a park setting. And I had to time that video so that I could record when the traffic stopped, because we're on a busy street. So as soon as I knew that that red light down the road had hit, I knew I had about 30 seconds to do a video. And so I was cracking up. I was laughing at every little thing. I'd hear a motorcycle go by, and of course I'm standing there in front of the camera saying, "Hi, this is Amy Meyer at Fabulous on Film." Loud motorcycle going by. I should be careful on doing rough voices this morning. And I'd hear the motorcycle going by, and I'd crack up and go, "Oh, great, there we go, take 20. and I'd do the video again, and I'd have to wait again for the traffic to subside. And by the time I got the video done, it came out well, but I had the one constructive comment I got was, "You were talking so fast." And once I explained to her that it was because I was trying to time it before one car went by again, we were laughing. So really plan out your location and figure out, do you have time to get your message out? Or are you going to be cracking yourself up? And I hope you do crack yourself up. I really hope that you're not so serious that you're getting yourself into this tight ball and you're really freaking yourself out over the videos. Have fun with it. Realize that even the pros, I mean, a 14-hour shoot for a I think less than a 2-minute scene in the movie Rent, if that's any indication for you of how much time can go into just one little scene, get to know that and relax, and you'll have a lot of fun on your videos. So really, you do want to think about where you're shooting your video. Indoors, outdoors, will there be people around? Is there time that you can shoot at that location where nobody else will be around? Can you do a special, can you like book space, or can you set up, figure out, okay, at this time nobody's in that park? But you do need to figure out what the rules and regulations are for being someplace after hours too. You don't want to get arrested for doing your video shoots. Also, determine whether or not, based on your location, will you need extension cords. This morning, setting up just for a Google Hangout, I had to realize that I needed to do makeshift extension cord setup. So I have my Cowboy Studio light here lighting up the set, but there are no outlets in this room. I think, well, I take that back. There's outlets behind me where the table lamps are, but there are no other outlets on the other walls. So I had to do extension cords. So think about that. Look in advance and figure out, where am I going? Do I need extension cords? Very random thing, but when you think about it, if you're on a shoot and you don't have cords with you, what do you do if you run out of whatever it is you need? Maybe you're trying to charge your iPhone that you're recording with and you can't. So that's another thing to remember. Chargers and any cords, cables that you need. So all of that goes into play when you're planning out your location. Background is tip number 5. Now, I've talked a lot about background. I'm very passionate about backgrounds. I had no idea planning this out that my shirt was going to match my Oscar picture. It's an Oscar poster that I've had for years. I've been known to throw Oscar parties and have people show up in Oscar attire. So that's where that came from. So with your backgrounds, you don't necessarily want to be matching with everything, but you do want to take into consideration your brand. And is there something that you can use that will highlight your brand? I got to remember to stop looking up at the screen. It looks creepy when I look at myself. But you want things that will accentuate you and your brand and really make you stand out. So really think about, if it's going to be outdoors, is it a garden? You want something to look pleasing to the eye that will really attract your clients and, again, make you stand out. So if it's outdoors, really take a picture first to see how that background is. Have someone take a picture of you with that background. Plot out near your house. Now, when you're doing something like a Google Hangout, it's not so important whether or not there is a alarm system behind you, because I'm trying to show you reality. This is a reality-based thing. When you're doing a business video, a marketing video that maybe either you're about me or you're selling something, you want to kind of check out what's behind you and know, what can people see in my background? You don't want mirrors, you don't want glass. As you can tell too, when I move my head from the Oscar poster, I'm strategically placed where there is a glare from the window across from me, just to show you one of the reasons why you don't want to film with a window behind you. And you also don't want to film with something that reflects something you don't want your audience to see. Mirrors, if you've got bad hair day going on behind you and you got a big mirror behind you, everybody can see. So think about what you're doing and how you're setting up stuff. And I'm just going to check again to see if there's any questions from anybody. None so far, which hopefully everything is making sense to everybody and we're doing well. Timing is going quite well too, so I'm going to move on to preparing your set, which I've done a little bit of tips. I've done some tips right now about that as we've been going. It kind of blends in there when you're talking about your background. With background, if this had been a plain white wall behind me, it would have been very stark. I have light hair, so I probably would have been more pale with the background. I also noticed that when you're setting up things, having something of interest around you, you don't want something that's going to be too distracting, so you don't want something flashing behind you. You don't want any doors that look like somebody can walk through the door and get you. You want things that are pleasing to the eye that don't take away attention from you. And this is my actual dining room. Let's see, just two basic lamps. There's a cabinet behind me, that a china cabinet, and a vase and some flowers. Very simple. And Oscar, of course. So really, when you're planning out, preparing your set, realize that you only have a limited space that you're working with. It's really good to set up your camera first to see how much people can see behind you, and maybe then adjust your camera to get in or remove something. I could actually reset this entire set so that you can't see the security system, but I wanted to be able to point out to you some of the things that show up in a background that you may want to watch out for. So hopefully when I show you things that you want to not see, it'll help you plan out and think about things and go, oh, wait a minute, there's something there that I really don't want my audience to see. I'll adjust the camera. So it's a matter of getting the look that you want, but also setting up your shot properly so you can capture the things behind you that you really want people to see, versus having things that you can hide. The video or webinar I did last week, I had a 6-foot mirror that I covered with a drapery panel, and that gave it a more aesthetically pleasing background. So that's another cool thing too, is you can move things around and create a set. And if you follow me at all on Instagram, I do a lot of photos of behind the scenes of backgrounds that'll help give you some ideas. My Instagram is @FabulousOnFilm, FABULOUSONFILM. How long should they be? How long? I do have a question here. Suzanne, can you expand on your question? That would be helpful, because I think that with the delay, for those of you who haven't done Google Hangouts, there is a slight delay. So the question, I'm not sure, are you asking about how long should the videos be that you're doing weekly? I'd love to be able to answer that question. And I'll pause just a second. Cheers. And you can see when I move forward too that you can see the lighting from my Cowboy Studio lights. So you always want to check your lighting too. The lighting from outside is starting to shift too. I have a window right in front of me, and that brings in natural light. So lighting is really important for your videos too. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on tip number 9. Okay, I don't see. I'll keep looking for your question, Suzanne. I think you're talking about how long should your videos be, and we'll get to that in a little while because I'm going to go over scripts. But right now, I'm going to go to tip number 7, and tip number 7, I have wardrobe, and you want to plan your wardrobe in advance for your videos. We're having a live lighting situation now where I'm starting to realize I have a window in my back door that is allowing the sun is shifting, so I'm getting lighting changes in the room, um, which is kind of fun for me being in video to realize that, okay, these are other things to think about when you're planning your video shoots. But anyway, back to wardrobe. You want to really plan on the colors when you've already got your background established and you've figured out what it's going to look like. You want to have something complementary. You don't want to wear something like, for instance, I've got the colored panels behind me. When I chose this shirt today, I knew that I wanted something that would pop, that was colorful, and I honestly didn't come in here and hold the shirt up to the poster. It's kind of fun that it worked out that way, but really, if I had worn like black and white stripes or something, it would really clash with what's behind me. So plan out what your background is and how to coordinate your clothing with your background so that everything works well. I don't know if any of you have done speaking from stage. Sometimes what ends up happening is you pick out this great outfit to wear on stage, and then you get to where you're speaking and the background is just totally hideous with your outfit. It's not that your outfit's bad, it's not that the background's bad. It's just that the combination of the two just doesn't work. So then you're stuck with speaker photos of you in front of this combination here that's just awful. So you, when you're creating your videos, you have that opportunity to plan it all to coordinate and have something that really suits you and really works well for your videos. So plan your wardrobe in advance. Wardrobe tip for planning on is if you're doing a video shoot like we're doing right now where it's just from here up, chest high up, you don't have to worry about what you're wearing for pants. Now I'll be honest with you, I got a pair of green shorts on. So really you don't have to worry about what your pants are, you can just worry about your tops. And just trade tops. If you're doing multiple videos and you want a different look for each video, trade your shirts and have maybe 3 to 4 shirts, or just 2 to 4 shirts, something that you can change into and you don't mind if maybe 2 of your videos have the same outfit. Sometimes I've recorded videos in the same outfit for multiple videos, and to me it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get the tip out. But if you are concerned about that, just pick out about 4 outfits, combinations. Don't get too crazy with necklaces and accessories, and don't have too much stuff on because that gets distracting. You want to keep it simple, keep it elegant, keep it very what they call here you go again, looking up. That cost me an audition, actually. I'll give you an insider tip on that. I had an audition where I was supposed to, for $600 an hour, I was supposed to look lovingly at my husband, and anything he said, I was supposed to be just adoring him. And he said something in the audition, and I rolled my eyes. And about the time my eyes got up here, I realized I lost the gig. And the rest of the video, or the rest of the audition, I just sat there thinking, oh, if I could have just figured out how to keep my eyes down. And that cost me my flight to Los Angeles too. So not only did I lose out on the actual gig, but it cost me a lot of money just to get down there to audition. So anyway, be aware of your gestures. That's something that is not on my notes here, but be aware of your gestures. I'm trying to position myself so that light's not under my chin. So with wardrobe too, planning it out, maybe you've got a look and feel, a shtick that you have that's your trademark, so you want to plan all that out too. And in last week's training, I talked more about wardrobe, so if you want to catch more of the details on that, again, the link to that video is on my website, so you want to go check that out because I don't want to get sidetracked here. I'm looking at the time. So tip number 8 are scripts. I really recommend working with scripts, even if you don't use them, because my recommendation is write the script out, and read it about 5 times out loud. When I say read it, don't just sit there and go, okay, I'm good. What I want you to do is I want you to read it out loud, enunciate the words, get it through your head what it is you're trying to say. That's your wording anyway, so you don't have to memorize it. Just understand the top tips, the top bullet points that you want to get across to people. And I'm going to adjust my chair. It may not bother you, but having that light under my chin bothers me. So my recommendation to my clients is usually to not memorize, but learn. Read it out loud, get it through your head what you're trying to say, and throw the script away. Don't look at it again unless you absolutely have to. Maybe you're recording so many videos that you need to refer to it in between takes, and that's fine. Videos, how long should they be? I'm thinking that that's what Suzanne's question is, so that is, I'm glad you asked that. That is part of what I wanted to cover today. You've got several different options, and a lot of people record random videos on and on and on. And unless you've got a following, people aren't going to listen. It doesn't matter how charismatic you are, they'll rarely listen to a 5-minute video if they don't know who you are. So I recommend really starting out with the short videos. Your About Me video is actually the longest that you should have, and that can be 2 to 3 minutes. And when you're writing an About Me script, do it in a kind of a question format. James Wedmore actually is somebody that I recommend going to YouTube and checking out some of his videos on About Me videos. He's got a great format suggestion. And when you're actually writing out a script, for a 2 to 3 minute script, you should do no more than 520 to 650 words for that 2 to 3 minutes. If you're doing anything longer than that, that is considered a training video or a blog. So anything 3 to 5 minutes is too long for anything other than a blog. And that would be around 650 words for a 5-minute script. And I figured these out by timing and some research too, so hopefully that'll help you. What I do recommend with scripts that you first start out with, never underestimate the power of an Instagram 15-second video. 15 seconds is hard to do, especially if you're not used to doing commercials, because a traditional commercial that you see on TV or you hear on radio is anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds maximum 60. That's how they sell their spots. So my whole research and study recently has been on 15-second Instagram video and how great it is for doing a quick tip or doing a quick little marketing piece on you and your business. Yes, it's tough to say something in 15 seconds or less. That's why I created my script. Actually, I'm going to share with you one of my videos that I did on Instagram. It was a 15-second script that said, sometimes the most difficult part about getting in front of the camera is just getting in front of the camera. I'm Amy Meyer at Fabulous on Film. Follow us on Instagram at Fabulous on Film for instant tips and tricks for getting comfortable and confident on camera. I wanted to do a reading of that for you so that I could give you exactly what I did for Instagram. That was a 15-second video, and it was 33 words for that particular script. So I recommend doing anything around 30 words for an Instagram script. And have fun with it. My client last week, we took bullet points from her tip video, her 1-minute tip. And we took each bullet point and made it into a 15-second Instagram commercial. So it can be done, and it's fun. And I've been having a lot of fun watching other videos that people do on Instagram as marketing mechanisms for their business. So it's really cool to be able to use that. I hope that answered your question, Suzanne. So just to recap, a 15-second, what I call Insta commercial, and you've got your 30-second to 60-second commercial length opt-in video. That's what you would use those for, an opt-in video. You can also try to do an opt-in video in 15 seconds. I think it's better for tips. I think that you need to really have a little bit more, like I did that 20-second video that was an opt-in video for my registration page for my last webinar, and the comment was give a little more information. So you want those to be a little bit longer. You want those 30 to 60 seconds. Your About Me video is 2 to 3 minutes, and then a training or web blog should be no more than 3 to 5 minutes. Did I say the other one should be 2 to 3 seconds? I did, 2 to 3 minutes. Let's see. We've got tip number 9. We've got about 10 minutes, so we're doing really well. What I want to share with you right now that I'm really excited about, and then I'll move on to tip 9 and then answer any other questions that may come up, is I'm excited because I just started doing something new that is a lot of fun. I don't know that anybody else is doing this out there, but I am, rather than having just discovery sessions where we talk and we decide what it is you want to do with video and how can I help you. It's what I call the professional video review and assessment. And it's an opportunity for you to submit a video no longer than 3 minutes. If it is longer than that, I'll watch up to the first 3 minutes. And I will review it. I'll tell you what you're doing that looks really great, because I think it's really important to share with you the positive things that you're doing. And then I'll also share with you some of the tips that I feel would help you improve your presence on video and really make you stand out. And I'm just excited about it because I love watching people's videos, and I love helping people improve their videos. And I get so excited when I see somebody who's deer in the headlights and they're standing up there saying, "Hi, my name is Jane, and I'm a healer, and I want to help you buy my stuff." Going from that to just being comfortable being yourself on camera. You hear all these people talking about being your authentic self, and then you're up there going, "Hey, let's rock, woohoo!" And I'm sitting there going, okay, first of all, this light is really tripping me out. See, now you can see more of the light from the window. Learning with Amy C. Meyer, lighting tips, live. But no, you hear a lot of people talking about being authentic, and I watch so many videos where people are so over the top and so cheesy that I'm going, really? That's how you talk to your friends? My friends would be running if I was talking to them like that all the time. Now, of course, when I do talk like that with them, they know I'm being a goofball. So, and I'm a goofball a lot of the time. So, anyway, I think it's a great opportunity to work with people and help people on a level that's quick. It's the fastest way of working with me. And if you're interested in doing that, I'm also giving away an opportunity at the end of my 4-week series. I'm giving away the chance to have the assessment for free. But if it's something that you're interested in doing now, I have a really super bonus. If you sign up before the contest is over and you pay for your slot, and I'll tell you in a second what it is, I will give you the value level of it as a gift certificate. So here's the deal. I offer this normally for $50, the assessment, and that's a steal in itself. For the next couple of weeks, it's yours for $27. You get to have the review and assessment and a chance to chat with me live, one-on-one discussing your videos for $27. And if you win the contest, you get the $50 value and a gift certificate towards future training with me or private sessions, whatever you choose. So I'm excited about this offer. You can sign up for this on my website, and you can also review any of the replays of my videos at amycmeyer.com, A-M-Y, C as in cat, M-A-I-E-R.com. And to show you what a delay we have with Google Hangouts, I'm just now getting Suzanne's how long should videos be in length. So I did answer that in my last section on scripts. So anyway, I'm really excited about being able to work with you on the assessments. So definitely sign up and let's get you started. And if you win the contest, you get that $50 certificate. So and if you want to just sign up for the contest, you can do that by emailing me, contest, ! And that goes to AMY, C as in cat, MAIER @yahoo.com. AMY, C as in cat, MAIER @yahoo.com. I'm pausing because I'm trying to get away from the light. Yeah, it's like, please stay away from the light. It's kind of unnerving and it's kind of making me laugh because we're live. You're seeing how things change and why you should record videos when you do. And that leads to tip number 9, time of day. How appropriate is this? Shooting, when you're planning your shoots, now obviously I set this up to shoot with natural light, half natural light, and have lamps. So I've got my lamps behind me for some backup light. And I've got a Cowboy Studio lighting system off to the side. Now my other lights are in my car, which is at the shop, long story, la la la. I have a window here that's letting natural light come down on me, which is great. And then I have this room here, my laundry room, where we have a door to the backyard, that the light is coming in through that door, and it's really changing up. Now, this morning when I set up my set, did not have that issue, so I didn't think about that. So this is one of the things that's really important when I talk about time of day shooting, is really figure out your lighting. So in the future, I know if I shoot something at 10 a.m., I want to set it up so that I either put something across the doorway there that you can't get the lighting, natural lighting in, or make some adjustments somehow, even to the timing of the shoot. So that's something to pay attention to when you're setting up your shots. If you're shooting outdoors, you really want to focus on shooting in the morning or the evening, especially with the sun going over as it is, just like this situation indoors using natural light. You want to, I'm trying to see if there's another place that I can go. Okay, I'm going to adjust the chair and come over here. And now you can see the glass. Okay. Doesn't do much difference there, so I'm just going to keep going with it and bear with me. It may be bothering me more than you. So what this shows you, though, with the lighting is you want to make sure that the sun is in front of you, not behind you or off to the side of you, because of how it affects the shot, the scene. When you've got the sun in front of you, it's natural lighting coming down on you, and it's also not causing shadows on you. And if you've got the lighting behind you, it can be glaring into your camera and really ruin your videos. So that's why it's recommended that you shoot morning or afternoon. At noon, you've got the sun right over you, and it casts shadows around you. So it's really not recommended that you do your shoots at noon. Time of day indoors, obviously it does matter if you've got natural lighting. So if you think, oh, I'm shooting indoors, it doesn't matter, pay attention to the natural lighting that you've got coming through. I've seen people do videos in offices where they've had natural light coming through a window behind them, and that causes a glare. Very similar to what you can see in Oscar here. So if where my finger's pointing right now, if I had this turned around and my back was to the window, you would see the light coming in through the blinds there. So that's one of the recommendations I have of not filming with your back to a window. I love when I can show you what not to do. Let's see. We're doing really well on time, so if anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat box. I'd love to answer the questions, because I'm coming up on tip number 10. And oh my goodness, I actually gave you this tip earlier. That's how much my brain is going on giving tips, giving tips. This is the tip on rehearsing. This is how important rehearsing is, though, because I thought of it already. I had it down. Rehearsing, running through your scripts. I do it in the car even. I start practicing my videos and speaking. Anything that I do, I practice in the car. It's a great place, especially if nobody else is in there, to just do a run through of what you want to talk about. And you can run through your lines at least 5 times out loud, not reading them to yourself. And try different tones of voices as well so that you can see how it carries. And that will also help you pick the voice that you want to use in your videos. So that way you're not just jumping in and going, all right, or hello, is everybody here? And you're not doing the sing-song. So we'll cover some voiceover tips in some other videos that are webinars that we do. I always like people to practice so that they can hear themselves. And when you rehearse, you may even do a dry run through with your video camera and go back and play it and listen to your voice and see, is that the tone of voice that I want to use for the actual video? You may find that the voice that you're using when you smile more sounds more upbeat. If you do a serious video, it can be very draining on people, and it can be very boring. But if you got a smile on your face and you're talking about the same topic, it can make a whole difference in your tone and how the video is delivered and how it's received by your viewers. So definitely rehearse through your videos. I'm really excited. This has been a really fun morning for me. I'm not seeing any questions right now, so I'll be wrapping this up, but I did want to tell you that for our next webinar, next couple of webinars that we're doing, I haven't decided yet in which order. I get really excited, and it depends on where I'm going to be, because if I'm not home and we're out and about, I'll be doing these on the road. I want to make sure that I have everything set up to be able to deliver it properly. But coming up, we're going to be working on using video on social media platforms. I'll be sharing with you ways that you can use video on all the different social media platforms. So if you have any questions, specific questions to those types of topics, let me know. You can email them to me at amycmeyer@yahoo.com, or if you're connected to me on Facebook, pop me a message through Facebook. And if you're not, please connect with me. I'd love to have you join us. I do a lot of tips on all the different social media platforms. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Facebook. And with Facebook, it's Fabulous on Film is the group, but it's also listed as the Video and Voiceover Academy. So there's a lot of ways that we can connect, and I will be sharing with you how you can do that with your videos on all the social media platforms. We'll also be talking about how to identify your target audience through video, how to attract your ideal audience in your videos. And we'll also be covering editing techniques and all kinds of great stuff. I've got my list going, and I'm really looking forward to sharing more tips with you. So I hope that this was helpful for you today. I hope you've got at least one thing. That's my goal. Even if you've heard all of these things from me already, which I doubt because I've never done this particular workshop before, but if you've heard everything from me already, if you can at least walk away with one thing that's new, that's my goal. So I'm Amy C. Meyer at Fabulous on Film in the Video and Voiceover Academy. Thanks for joining me on your Sunday morning. I'm really excited to see you next week on Fabulous on Film. Thank you.